Welcome again to another episode of Pillow Talk with Inkosazana Yabathembu. I know some of you, I'm looking at you, you are saying, look at her, she's not even putting a makeup. Of course, duh, this is Pillow Talk. Who goes to bed with makeup on their faces? Besides, my topic today is naked truth. Naked as in naked. So I'm going to be naked. That includes my face, that I don't hide anything behind. By the way, did you know ababiye barhanqe amasimi barhanqe imilambo babiye for ukuthi we don't get imbola anymore, singasabi bahle. They took imbola bayiprocessa bayigrinda njengoba seniyibona kuyipowder nje kuthiwa yini powder whatever but imbola isiliwe igayiwe. They've just modernized ukuprocessiwa kwayo yi-makeup ke leyo. So who goes to ebedini, I mean really with imbola, qhaba imbola. Hi, I'm naked and I'm going to be as naked as I am. Singangcweli imitya. Okay, naked truth. Now, two issues, and just on the continuation of what is happening in America, just a few months, hardly 6 months after here, eMzansi, we've been to the polls, the rigged elections, because they were rigged. Just after, now it's America. Now what is interesting, which Americans should wake up and ask themselves serious questions, because why is there a sudden attack on the rich and famous and influential African Americans? Because there is that attack. It's not a disillusion of some sort or anything. We all know that Oprah Winfrey, she's supporting Kamala Harris, campaign yakhe. Not for any good reasons, but for herself and her Luciferian agenda and whatsoever that she subscribed to. Enough about that. But be that as it may, ungumundu, she's rich, she's famous, she's influential, she can raise money, she's got money like dust, which is what makes her beautiful, because she's an ugly duckling until she got bags and bags of money. How she got that money? It's the Luciferian thing. She joined the deep state and what have you. Story for another day. That's not where we are. Suddenly, the media, regardless of who is sponsoring that agenda, they are now bringing up files ka Oprah Winfrey and Didi. It's a dirty thing. TD Jakes, on the Christian side or the church side, he's under attack. Serious attack. Yes, we know a contribution ka TD Jakes within the spirituality and the church body of Christ. He has made tremendous contribution in as far as being born again and the relationship and opening up our eyes. He's helped a whole lot of people. We are the benefactors. We can testify to the contribution Katidi Jakes in his ministry, preaching the gospel and the good news of Christ Yeshua. And all of a sudden, he's also under attack. Files are being brought up that he had some dirty business, gay relationships with Didi, and Didi as well, Sean whatsoever name, but his name, common name, is known about Didi, the one and only famous Didi for his parties and everything and what have you. Ebantwini bezginci. Didi has been arrested in September, but there was no noise, nothing about it until now, when the elections and the campaigns and everything, it's starting to heat up. It's starting to get closer to the finish line, to November, and now it's become headline news, left, right, and center. An arrest that was made in September. You ask yourself about the timing of that, because he's not arrested for something that has just happened or he has just done in September. All along, there's been allegations against Didi and his parties and the prostitution and all of the things that they do during the dark as celebrities, as whatever. It's been years, not just 2 years, years, but he's been protected and. Didi is rich, ain't nobody parties like Didi. He makes people within the entertainment industry, they respect him and. Jay-Z is under attack. Yes, we know Jay-Z and his wife, Beyonce, we know they are Luciferians, but they did not start becoming Luciferians yesterday. But all of a sudden, all of these big names of the black, the bold, the famous, the rich, in fact, they are not rich, they are wealthy. These African Americans, they are now all of a sudden under attack. Why? Because all of the things that they are accused of doing or associating with, it's not news. It is things that have been known and that have been shielded and kept as closely guarded secrets. And when people have been trying to come up and exposing these things, they've been silenced, they've been called names, they've been accused of being a conspiracy theorist and what have you. But now, all of a sudden, they are not conspiracy theorists. What is in it for the CIA? Who is driving these arrests and these coming out of files? Who is driving all of this demonizing and the attacks on the African Americans? Not just any ordinary African American. Rich, wealthy, influential, famous African Americans. Who is behind that? That is one question. What is in it for them? Who is driving, or who is holding the strings and pulling the strings behind the scenes? Why now? Why the attack on African Americans? What is it that African Americans themselves should be reading out of this situation that is happening now? They did not become rich yesterday. They have been rich for years. They've been wealthy for years. Their wealth, their riches, their influence has been used all the years, for decades, to the benefit of Who? America. What is the message that should be read by the African Americans now, before it is too late? I said the title or my topic today in this episode is Mission Accomplished. Is it a case of mission having been accomplished? What mission? Mission to use the rich and famous and the blessed and skilled and artistic African Americans, and to suck everything that America can suck out of their hard work, out of their blessings, out of everything that they can bring and that they've been bringing onto the table to benefit America, which is not their motherland. Is it a case of, we have used you, we've gotten, we've sucked everything, every blood out of you, we are enough, we have accomplished our mission, now, bye-bye. We no longer need you. It's either we send you, we throw you to jail, or break you. Is it? Is it a case of the rich and famous, the wealth of the African Americans having been used and accomplished what it could for the Americans? Because the mere fact that at this day and age, after so many years, that you still hear some sector of the society within America being called African Americans. Why are they not called Americans? Have they not earned a right to be fully fledged citizens of America without them being classified in terms of their originality, in terms of their skin color, in terms of who they are or where did their grandparents come from before they were taken from through the river Niger to be enslaved in America centuries ago? After so many centuries, after everything that has happened in America and the fights and the activism and what have you and the change for a one America, a United States of America, why is there still a sector of the society of the nation that is still referred to as African American? Why are we not doing the same thing here in Azania? Why do we have South Africans? Let alone the fact that the term South Africa is not the name of this nation. It is not our name. There is no nationality that is called South Africans. South is a destination. It is a geographic location within the map of Azania, because this continent is not even Africa for that matter. It is Azania. Those who know the origination of the term Africa, they would know that it means cursed land. We are not a cursed land. We are a blessed land of Azania. So those people are Azanian Americans. But why, after so many years, when they don't even know, because the majority of the African Americans, the Azanian Americans, they don't know their origins. The lucky ones and the rich ones, they've been trying to spend monies and loads of monies, millions of dollars, trying to trace their DNA as to whether or which part of this continent did their great-grandparents originate from. Some have not gotten answers to this date. Enough about that. Let's go back so that we don't sidetrack. Americans, Azanian Americans, need to ponder into this quickly, because if you don't take this as a sign of something that is cooking or that is being cooked behind the scenes, you may find yourselves out of the street. You may find yourselves being the first victims of the Trump plan and promise for America should look forward to massive deportations. It might be that when Trump is talking about massive deportations, he is talking about you, Azanian Americans. Don't rule that out. Don't think that the massive deportations are just referring to Nigerians. Remember, the Nigerians that are in America today, out of their own free will, having gone there, not having been shipped there to be enslaved, they have gone there knowing very well and being proud of the fact that they are Nigerians. The only people that are not proud of their nationality is you, Azanian Americans, because you have lost your sense of identity. Now, you will wake up from a nightmare after elections, whether it is Trump and whether it is Kamala Harris that has won the elections. Wake up. You may be the very first ones to be victims of massive deportations, because when the military, which does not comprise of you, when the military and the CIA wake up on that particular day that they would have set as the day to start implementing massive deportations, they are not going to be asking every person, every black person that they meet in the street to produce their documentation and give their CV as to when did you first arrive in America. They're going to be deporting everything that is black, because black is bad, white is good. USA for Americans, not for Azanian Americans. So when they deport the Nigerians, they may not be saying it now. When they deport the Nigerians that have gone there, when they deport the Pakistanis that have gone there, they're not going to be leaving you out. They're going to be doing that on the basis of skin pigmentation. Wake up, Azanian. Wake up, Azanian American. These people are on to something. It started with Didi in September. Or it did not even start with Didi. It is a continuation. But they've resuscitated whatever it is, the agenda that they have, because you are the unwanted people. You are the unwanted people. They resuscitated their mandate and their mission with Didi in September. Along with that comes the names and the dehumanization and the scandals, the exposure of the scandals all of a sudden. Of Steve Harvey, Oprah Winfrey, Jay-Z, Tyler Perry, and the stories about Tyler Perry. They pushed him apparently into a corner, into accepting or admitting that he has had a gay relationship. Who has not had a gay relationship within that industry in America? Who has not had an unholy relationship or acts or anything? Who has never been involved within those people that are Luciferians? They all have their own scandals. They all have been initiated within the dark society, the Luciferian society, the Illuminatis, the Freemasons, the Belgatians, and all those 9 to 11 secret society Luciferian gangs. They have their scandals. The mere fact that they've allowed themselves to be initiated as the Luciferians from whichever camp or grouping they come from means that on its own is unholy, that on its own is a scandal. So no scandal is better or lesser than the other. Evil is evil. But all of a sudden, Americans are made to focus on the fact that so and so has got a scandal, so and so has had a fling with so and so, Oprah and Didi and Jay-Z, all of the same things that they've been doing in their secret society in the dark, and they've known about them, and they've not been saying anything about them. Now all of a sudden, the American voter must focus on all of those scandals so that they don't begin to ask the right questions about Kamala Harris, about the plan of Donald Trump, about everything else. But whilst they are doing that, look at how they are capitulating and elevating Elon Musk. Is it because of the skin pigmentation? Because Elon Musk is or was born and bred and educated here in South Africa. But he becomes a better American than the ones that have been born and bred in America. Because of his skin pigmentation, because he's also rich, and because it suits their agenda, and because he is also partner in crime. He's also a Luciferian, by the way. It may be that they have a plan to replace the infamous Bill Gates with Elon Musk. We don't know. Maybe. It might be. It is a possibility. But they cannot be replacing Bill Gates with somebody that is still new in the industry, somebody that does not have money. It might be that. It might be that it is a case of 2 elephants fighting and the grass is suffering. Because Beyonce, we hear she's a queen, naye kweyakhe ikona. And the news that Jay-Z once has come up and come out, and he's going to testify against Didi, and apparently he wants this case to be wrapped up faster, and he wants his wife's name kept out of the entire mess. Why? Who is pulling the string behind the puppies? All the same, what I can say is, fellow Azanian Americans, it is time you pack your bags and come home. You have a home. Azania is your home. Regardless of which part of the Niger you came from, Azania is your home. You'd better start packing. And start with your wealth, because when they deport you, when they start the deportation process, they are not deporting you with your bank accounts. That they won't do. They will deport you with nothing but an overnight bag. And you will not, once that happens, you will not be able to transfer your funds, to take your funds, anything whatsoever. The CIA, the Justice Department, the Internal Affairs, your Internal Affairs or Home Affairs, whatever that department is that seems to have a high status, a higher status and powers and what have you, the next thing that they will be doing, they will freeze your accounts, and your accounts, your money, your wealth, and all your riches that you have worked hard for, regardless how you accumulated them, they will freeze them, and it will belong to the states, to the government. That is going to happen because we know, it is an open secret by now, that America is bankrupt. And by the way, it is not America only that is bankrupt. Azanians, your government under the GNU, akiri nina nithe nibuyela kwi-GNU, nifuna ukulala ne-DA, nilawulwe nguHelen Zille, nge-remote control, kwi-Grand Coalition. You have just sold yourselves for the second time and your souls to the devil. You have sold us all out, back to the enemy, back to the colonizers. South Africa is bankrupt. It is there in the news. The only reason that you are not talking about it or you don't know about it is because in these WhatsApp groups, on social media platforms, they are agents, the agents and the puppets of the Luciferian system, ye ANC ka Ramaphosa, has been employed and is on a full-time pay to keep you focused on little things, on positions, on titles, whilst South Africa is bankrupt. South Africa is bankrupt. America is bankrupt. It is there. It is confirmed. South Africa, there is no money. Ninake ama officials, the middle class, you are going to get, ithi ngibeke ngesixhosa, nizayifumana eyafunyanwa nguHili. Nizawusebenza. In fact, senifumene kumanje, ipension yenu kuthiwe anisayifumani, banizela ne-English enhle, ngoba ningamaqaba ni-impresswa yi-English. Okanye nizikhohli ukuthi ningabobani na, niva kuthethwa ngo-two-pot system. Two-pot system, my food, iqiniso ukuthi there is no food. That's why they are talking about pot. Ukudla, there is no food. Bayidlile already. Now, iseyigqibile ke manje, iyaphumela ngaphaya kwama-pension wenu. Labathi you can withdraw 30,000 as a lump sum, tax free. What is 30,000? To somebody that has worked a civil servant, a teacher, engunesi, elipolisa, esebenza kwamasipala, a contributor government employees pension fund, GEPF, a contributor municipal employees pension fund for the past 30 years, 30% of your gross salary, 30% over the years. Take that, we add up and add interest on a cumulative basis for 30 years, and they tell you ukuthi you are allowed, and you let them get away with that, you are allowed to withdraw a maximum of 30,000 rands. What is 30,000 rands? Some of you are earning more than 200,000 rands a month. So with 30,000, what percentage is it of your salary? Uzakwenzani nge 30,000 rands when your bills alone are more than 80,000 rands, because you've earned it, you've gotten used to the salary and the package that you are getting, and so therefore you have adjusted your expenditure and your needs and your lifestyle accordingly. 30,000 does not even begin to pay ibond yomunye. It does not even, ayifiki ku 30% webills zakho zenyanga, because you've got your bond. Nihleli kwimabond angithi for 20-30 years. You've got your bond that you've got to pay. You've got 2 cars or 4 cars that you've got to pay every month. You've got your lights and water and rates and taxes, which are not less than 5,000, just rates and taxes, standard rate, because they have not been billing you on the basis of how much water you have used, how much electricity you have used. Rates and taxes alone, excluding water consumption, excluding electricity consumption, ongayifumani 30 days a month, by the way. Rates and taxes alone, they are no less than 4,000, 5,000 a month, because zichargwa ngokwe-area. Bayicharga ngokuthi iproperty yakho injani. You've got a house that is worth 4 million, thumbsucked evaluation by the city of Johannesburg, by the city of Tshwane, by the city of Cape Town, by the city of eThekwini. All these big metros, they thumbsuck the value of your property so that they are able to increase unfairly and fraudulently the rates and taxes that they calculate that you must pay on a monthly basis. So 30,000 does not even begin to pay just your basic needs. Yet they tell you ukuthi ku 2-pot system, you are allowed to only withdraw 30,000 of your 30 years, 30% pension that you have been contributing. And you know that kula 30% that is contributed, it's a 2:1. When employer takes 30% of your salary, they top up according to pension fund rules. They top that with 2/3. You contribute 1/3, they contribute 2/3. Ngumthetho law we-pension fund rules. By the time isiya kubo, if u-30% we-salary yakho ibingu 300 rands, add on that 600 rands, because 300 rands is 1/3, and then they top up with 2/3 ngokomthetho we-pension fund. By the time isiya lapha, it's 6, 12, 18, 1,800 that has been contributed and paid to the municipal pension fund administrators, to the government employees pension fund administrators, which those administrators are supposed to have invested for you and on your behalf. That is why you appoint trustees, more like your board of directors, to take care and look after your invested funds, of which they don't do that. We know badla nabo badla bonke, but badlulisa ke manje bayiqedile nya imali yenu yama-pension niphuma ningenalutho, as if that is not enough. Badle ke manje nale ye-fiscal. Njengoba sikhuluma manje 2024, South Africa is bankrupt. The fiscal budget is finished. Iphelile, ifedile. Bayifedile. 2-3 months down the line, we are not going to have salaries. I guess we can all guess what is going to happen next. Cyril is going to call for another lockdown, stage 5 of some invisible virus, so that they are able to buy time, so that they are able to impose a state of emergency. State of emergency that will protect them. Ukuthi, when you discover, or if you may think of going on the streets to Toy, his dogs are on to you. They are here in the country already. They are camping and have been camping in the Eastern Cape. The dogs of the Luciferian syndicate mafia. And it's a global mafia. We're not talking about something ela eMzansi kuphela. Wake up, human race. Unite. Take back your power. Take control. Take charge. Stop fighting one another. Stop fighting over petty things. Ni criticizer each and everything, every word. Umuntu ayishoyo ukuthi ufake makeup, hayi lo mubi, ni recyclisha ama video clips esasinithumele wona siwa expose, risking our lives years ago. Sinivula mehlo with classified information. Nina, what are you doing today? You are recycling the very same things because you have been employed to be agents zokuthi nicinezele your own nation, the human race. Wake up, Azania. This is not a bedtime story. Wake up, Azanian American. Mission has been accomplished. You are on your way out of America, and you will not be given time to pack up your bags. It's not yet Uhuru, but the power is in our hands.